Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is May 4th. And we have some small banks collapsing with PACW down about 40% in the after hours. And WAL, or Western Alliance, it was down about 20% after hours yesterday, but this has recovered some. So I think it was PACW was the one that was looking for a deal for somebody to buy them out. So this might be this week's weekend auction to where PACW might be the next bank to go down. And then I think next on the chopping block would be Western Alliance. If y'all saw my Twitter post, let's see if I can find it. There she is. Should have put PACW in the meme, but Western Alliance would be next too. Good morning, Irfan. Welcome. Yeah, right now, SPY down in the pre-market. I think it's like 0.2, 0.3%, so it's not a major change yet. But we found ourselves in a pretty tight range in the pre-market between 407.25 and about 406.90. We're slightly below that right now, so it might be a bearish start. We're looking at 45 RSI to kick us off, so that would be a slightly bearish start below 50. The VIX is doing okay, up 5% today at 1928. A couple days ago, it's at 1981, so this isn't a new weekly high, but it is getting up there. And that's about it. Actually, we had some economic data coming out this morning with the initial jobless claims coming in worse than expected at, I think, 242,000 versus 240,000 expected, up from 229,000 last week. The continuing jobless claims somehow actually ended up coming in better at 1.805 million versus 1.865 million expected. And this is actually down from 1.843 million as of last week. So the continuous jobless claims ticked down, whereas the initial jobless claims actually went up for this week. So, and then we had non-farm productivity, which is kind of like GDP in a way. It's more like a precursor to GDP, coming in at negative 2.7% versus negative 1.8% expected. And this is down from 1.6% in the fourth quarter of last year. This is the Q1 results, and it's preliminary. They do this once a month, just like GDP. So you'll have a actual in, I think, 2 more months. We're in May, so June, July, I think we would get the actual report. But yeah, that's what's going on this morning. Fun market. Do you think PACW is going to zero? I think by this weekend, there's a strong possibility of it, yes. Just like with SIVB, the first one that went down, this is at zero. And then you had, sorry, I'm blanking. The other one was FRC, went down last weekend. This one got delisted, but it would go to zero once it does get relisted on the over-the-counter OTC market. And Western Alliance, or sorry, not Western Alliance, PACW will be the next casualty. SPY to the moon. Yeah, I actually think that this SPY and the markets might actually take this as bullish, because that means that the Fed might pause if there's, a few more bank runs and capitulations. I think that increases the odds of the Fed pausing at the June meeting. So the markets might actually take this as bullish. If we look at the FOMC countdown tool, this is looking at a 99.6% chance that they do pause and a 0.4%, hardly anything, that they end up raising another 25 basis points. And this is after all of this chaos in the after hours for Pac Western and Western Alliance. But yeah, starting off the day, red down 0.3% for SPY, 49 RSI, so we're just right at neutral to start the day. Apple is down 1.6%. That was actually kind of shocking to see. Their after-hour sell-off was brutal. So they started at 170 right before the Fed at 3 p.m. Once the conference ended, they slid down to 167, and then they went all the way down to 162 in the after hours. So there was a huge sell-off in Apple, and now it's down about 1.5%. So it recovered a little bit this morning, but they have earnings today. So it's kind of strange that they would fall, 1.5% back down to 165 right before their earnings. Any expectations for Apple today? Yeah, I put out my expectations on the notes for Sunday's video. So if they end up beating their earnings, beating their revenue, I think their stock might go above 180. I might actually revise these down just because of the chaos going on in the market. I would actually put this maybe at 175 now. I'd probably keep the 172 price target. If they beat earnings, miss revenue, that's a strong possibility. If they end up missing their earnings and beating their revenue, I think their stock would go stay probably where it's at because they're not going to miss by much. It's Apple, and they have a ton of cash to do share buybacks, which can artificially boost their earnings per share. So I think they would stay at 165 in that case if they miss earnings, beat revenue, and then if they miss both earnings and revenue somehow, I think their stock would go below 160. That's my estimates for right now. I think the most likely scenarios are 172 or 165. It's probably 172. All right, SPY is just below 407 as of right now. I got some put debit spreads right before the closing bell yesterday, and those are up by $45 or about 30% for right now. We're at 47 on the RSI, 49, so we're just kind of trading right around 50. No sentiment yet. The 407 puts are pretty cheap as of right now. The 406 calls are probably around the same, a little bit pricier by about 15 cents. Let's zoom into these and see where the volume is. It's about equal volume for both the calls and the puts. So again, there's just no sentiment formed as of yet. Looks like it might be bullish. We're right above 50 RSI at 53. Now these calls are going for 165. The puts are 143. I'll watch the first probably 15 minutes and then maybe make a day trade based on where we're at. thinking about taking profits for my put debit spread with the gap down this morning. Considering we're just trading flat, not going to trust the overnight sell-off. So, closing these at 40, I bought them at 35. It's not a huge profit, but profit nonetheless, which I will take. Closing options alert, premium. Just took profits too early, but on the SPY put debit spreads expiring tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo, at 40 each. Strike prices we're assuming 406, below 406 by tomorrow. So out of that trade, we're seeing this turn bearish at 46 RSI right now, but not a lot of people are buying into the puts compared to the calls. So based on the volume between these, seems a little bit more bullish, but based on price action right here, you're looking at below 50 RSI, so that would be a bearish start to the day for the first 10 minutes. PAC Western was already halted. Damn. Yeah, it's down 45%. Western Alliance is down 17%. I think that's the next one to fall. I think I want to buy puts on it. Hopefully it doesn't get halted before I can get in. Probably set my expiration date for a couple weeks out, for maybe the 19th. Just to give it a little bit more time. Right now, that's going for 500 at the 25 put. They're up 130% today. It's a pretty heavy cost. Let me see if I'm getting this cheap or not. May 19th expiration. I'm looking at the 25 put. Copy and paste it in here. Yeah. So overpaying for it a bit. They were trading at 450 just a few minutes ago. So I'll probably set a stop loss at 450 and buy them at like 525 maybe. Oh, you can only buy them in 10-cent increments. Okay. New options alert. Premium. Just bought a new Western Alliance put expiring May 19th at 5:30. Probably ended up overpaying for it, but that's okay. Strike price at 25. And then again, I'm probably going to set my stop loss at like 450. So like $80 of a loss if it does end up recovering back up. But with PAC Western selling off by 45% this morning, it's not a good look for the regionals. Looks like SPY is coming down to 405.87 now. why not go out of the money? You can, but then let's see. $5.19 expiration. You're still paying a pretty high premium for it. So if you went, say, with a 360 puts expiring for May 19th, they're going for if you're going for the 20 puts expiring May 19th, you're paying $360. So you're reducing your cost, but then the stock needs to fall that much more in order for you to make a profit. So if I want to make profits on this before the 19th, ideally I would choose an in-the-money option, just so I don't have to wait for my break even that much longer. And you get a higher payout if the company does end up going bankrupt. Then you get, the difference between the strike price that you choose and zero. So I would make $2,500 after I spend $530. Versus the other one, I would spend $360 to make $2,000. So I prefer the higher payout at the end, which is why I go in the money. Have a question about credit spreads. If you receive a credit for a trade, wouldn't be able to close the trade right after and keep the credit? No. So you have to pay a debit in order to close that option after you open it. So you take the difference of the credit that you received to open it and the debit that you pay in order to close it, and that's your profit or your loss. If you get more credit on open than you do whenever you close for debit, then you would be profitable. So say I got $100 for a credit spread, I close that for $110 of debit, I pay $110 to get out of that trade, then I would take a $10 loss. And then on the other hand, if I get $100 credit to open and then I close for $50, then I get $50 of profit. Saw somebody on Wall Street Bets complaining they didn't get the payout after FRC. So the thing is, you aren't going to get the settlement until the company goes back on the market. So right now, FRC is in limbo. Basically, their stock got delisted. So there's no stock for Robinhood to, whenever you buy a put, you are selling the shares. So there's no put, or there's no stock for Robinhood to buy in order for you to sell, right? If it's not listed on the market, then you're not going to get that payout. But once the stock does end up getting relisted on the over-the-counter market, that's when you get the payout. So the same thing happened with SIVB, Silicon Valley Bank, to where they were in limbo for like, God knows, I think it was like 3 weeks or something like that. And then the people that bought the puts, then they finally got paid. But if the stock is delisted, you're not going to get paid until it gets relisted, basically. Those Western Alliance puts are doing pretty well right now. Bottom at 530, now they're going for 590. Western Alliance dropping pretty hard the first 20 minutes of the market, 15 minutes of the market. What would suck is if I want to get out of this trade and then it gets halted. That's another problem that you have to deal with whenever you're doing these kind of trades, is if the stock gets halted, you can't exit. You have to wait until it gets unhalted. Like if you did I keep mixing up Western Alliance and PAC Western. If you traded Pac Western right on open before they ended up getting halted, then you wouldn't have been able to get out of those puts at the moment. But now it's trading again, so now you'd be able to get out. SPY is down 0.75% today. That's pretty crazy. UVixie is trading at 408. Not really seeing as much of a pop as I would have expected with a 0.75% drop this morning. The VIX is finally above 20. I really wish that I had bought VIX calls, but did not hop on that opportunity. Gold is still pumping after yesterday's FOMC meeting at 190. Damn, it hit a after hour high of 195. That's pretty huge. I think that might be a new high for GLD. Yeah, and it was after hour, so it doesn't really count, but that would be above the 194 high from previous. 194.45. Western Alliance going to nothing. Yeah. I think that Western Alliance is probably going to go to auction this weekend. That's my guess as of right now. What's really funny is I have a put option for Carvana. The markets are down 0.75% and Carvana is flat. It makes 0 sense for Carvana to be flat. Besides just wasting my damn time. Which the markets are really good at. They love wasting my time. Western Alliance getting smacked right now down to 22.96. Those puts are going for 6.95. I think they got halted. Oh shit. Don't tell me they got halted. Damn it. Well, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, my puts are up by $165 already. Damn. Crazy, crazy market. SPY's down 0.75% right now. I don't know, this market's pretty brutal. We finally ended up breaking the range that we've been in for God knows how long, like a month, right? Not quite at a new monthly low, but we're getting there. At 403.78. Right now we're at 405, so it's another $1.25 we'd have to drop, which is about another 0.25%, maybe like 0.3%. So we would have to see SPY down by like 1.1% to see a new monthly low today. Those put options I wanted to buy this morning, 407 puts. Whew, Jesus Christ. Trading at 270. They were trading at 140 on open. All right, let's go back to SPY 406 puts. Trading at 179, pulling back pretty quickly with SPY recovering. Back to 405.60. I'm going to wait for some consolidation here. Some back and forth trading action. And then maybe hop in some 406 SPY puts. Momentum is definitely bearish today. We're at 33 RSI. So the plan, wait until this starts trading flat and try to get the options for cheap. SPY. Looking at the 406 put, trading at 184 as of right now. They were going for 225. Now they're back to 200 after dipping down to 175. All right, so this might be where we start to get some back and forth trading action. And that's where I like to enter these trades, set a tight stop loss of like 10 cents. Robinhood doesn't have a stop loss feature, so what I've been doing instead is using my phone as a stop loss. Having an order queued on my phone to swipe up and submit. They have the stop limit order, which you can place after, but then if you place a stop limit order, that means that you have to have a closing price where you would take profits at, and these puts can run a shit ton, so you're limiting your upside potentially. These 0 day to expiration options go absolutely insane, so basically you're taking on very little risk with a 10-cent stop loss, and you know you can make a shit ton if your direction is right. But you have to wait on some consolidation first, make sure that you get the options at a decent price. They're trading at 200 as of right now, which is an okay price. But they were just at 175, so they're not super cheap. And you could get stopped out pretty easily. Yeah. So if I had bought those at 200, now they're at 188, so I'd be stopped out already. So ideally, we'd want to get these at 175 based on the candle low right here. But I'm going to wait until we get more consolidation first, because this is a pretty sizable candle to the upside. And I don't want to take that risk yet. Yeah, in and out quick. Western Alliance ended up recovering a little bit. Now my options are only up 75 instead of the 175 I was up earlier. Trading at 23.92 with a low. With a low at 22.13. All right, we're back to 406. So this could be a pivot point just based on the price levels. These puts are going for 160. They had a low at 151. All right, let me start typing in the trade alert. Today's 5-4 at, we'll see what price I can get them at. All right, we're just above 406 now. Now they're at 145. 43 RSI, so if you're expecting momentum to keep going down, this is the point to get in. I don't think I want to pay more than 150 for them. So I'll queue my order to go in at 150 and submit whenever we get that ask down. And if I can't get it at 150, I'll just skip the trade. No, SPY and QQQ are reversing. Yep. That's this market for you. Back and forth, baby. All day long. All right, let's watch the candles. Yeah, the low for this candle is 144, 143. So I could place my order in at 153 and negotiate up. I don't think I want to negotiate up though. I want to get these as cheap as I can, just so I don't risk that stop loss hitting quick. Nope, and we're back down. Okay. Well, missed that opportunity, but that's all right. Can't get them all. Blame it all on the Fed. Yeah, the Fed is... It's funny because the Fed literally said, well, Powell said yesterday that the banking system is sound and resilient, and then literally a couple hours later... Well, it's a PAC Western was down like 40%. So, not so sound and resilient. AMD is up 1.6% today, but just trading in the weekly range that it was expected to be in, so not really too surprised. We had Qualcomm reporting earnings yesterday, QComm, which is down 7%, 7.3% this morning. Ugh. Yikes. Western Alliance now down to 23.50, just kind of trading flat after they got halted. Edging down slowly. All right. So now we have a little bit of a range forming. So we can either get these at the lows at 144 or 160. So still, ideally, we want to get these at 150. That's what I'm going to wait on. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. RSI is still well below 50 at 37 right now, so it's still very weak. How come puts start making profit before it hits your break even? Your break even is based on the expiration date. And your break even is going to be the difference between the strike price and what you pay for it. So if you hold your option all the way until expiration, that's when the break even matters. Before the expiration, you just need the price of the option to go up, right? So if you buy an option at, say, $500 and now it's trading for $600, you can sell that option before the expiration and make $100 profit. All right, now we're getting a little bit cheaper. 160 for these puts. Almost where I want them. Based on the candle structure, I could enter here. Which puts these options at about 160. Yeah, should have just followed those two close and open prices at 160. Keep halting the trading on WAL. Yeah, it's back down 24% now. It just hit the lows that it was, almost the lows that it was at earlier. So they're just not letting it sell off. This is the second time that they got halted this morning. Banking system collapses. Me. Yay, my put debit spreads. It do be like that. Gotta make money somehow with all this inflation, right? We all gotta survive somehow. All right. Let me move this over a little bit so we can see the candles more clear. All right, I think I'm gonna place the order, replace the order for 160. 159, so a little bit cheaper we can get them at. We actually got them at 156, 154 each. So my stop loss here is going to be 144. I opened 10 of them. Now they're going for 162. I got really lucky with that entry. Very, very lucky with that entry. Now they're going for 168, so I'm out of that trade right away. Okay. I'll have my stop loss now set to 154, so I'll have my stop loss at my original entry. That way I can secure any potential losses. Now these are going for 173. So easy little $200 profit there if it gets filled, hopefully. 1750 close. There it is, $200 profit. I'll take it. Closing options alert. Premium. Just took profits on the SPY 406 put, expiring today, 5/4 at 173. So 1730 minus 1540, $190 profit. Could have probably held for more profit, but with these trades, I like to be in and out just like that. You can carry into the momentum and make a shit ton more. Like these puts could go for, $200 if I carry into momentum, but if I'm getting 2-to-1 risk reward, that's it. Evil Greg. Yeah. Yeah, this scalping strategy is working wonders for me. I've been using it, backtesting it on Thinkorswim, which is a lot less stressful because they have the market orders. So I started my transfer yesterday from Robinhood to Thinkorswim. So I should have the funds available to me within the next week or so. And these market orders are going to be a lot less stressful than having to have my stop loss order on my phone and then the take profit order and the limit orders that you have to place with Robinhood just take too long for me. But yeah, nice little $190 profit there. Go put that in log. And the beauty of this strategy is once these wins start adding up, it's very hard to start losing money. Like if you can snag these $200 profit a couple of times, that means that you can lose 4 trades before you start going south with this strategy. But you have to be strict with it. If you're not strict with your stop loss, like I was yesterday, I took a $250 loss, then things can go south very quickly. All right, so I closed this put debit spread this morning. Let's see what I closed at. 40 each. Opened 2 new trades today. Western Alliance and SPY. It is a put that I bought for Western Alliance. Long put. Bear strategy. Expiry is 519. Strike price was 25, and I paid 530 for it. Now they're going for 750 at the moment. And that SPY put that I just scalped, long put, bear strategy, expiry today. Strike price was 406. I opened 10. Let's see. The prices were 154 and 173 for $190 profit. Might secure the bag on Western Alliance too, but that one is a sinking ship right now. Down 28% today. And I think they got halted again. You can do a stop limit order, but the problem with the stop limit order is that you need to put in a limit order for your close. And like I said, these options are very volatile to where you can see a 20-cent swing in a matter of a minute. Like I could have put that the limit order on the upside to like 10 cents, and then I would have missed out on that extra 10 cents, right? So I think that the best method for this strategy is just using market orders, but Robinhood doesn't have those available. That way you're able to get in and out of the trade extremely quickly. Yeah, entry timing is key. Exactly. You wait for that candle structure to form. Try to get it at the lows if you can. And then just wait either for the other end of the range, like I did here, or you can wait for that breakout and, have even greater returns. But for me, I don't like taking on that risk of waiting for the momentum. So usually with this strategy, I end up selling short. Like I could have sold these for 183 now, whereas I sold them at 173. calls on mega banks, yeah. Calls on JP Morgan because they're going to get all the freaking deposits. They're actually down 2% today, even after acquiring, what was it, the last bank that ended up going bankrupt, FRC. They're sliding down, but that just helps them out even more if they're getting 5% from the Fed and they only have to pay 0.01% or whatever they're paying for their depositors, and that's more money that they're collecting and all the different fees that they add on. You would think that JP Morgan would get a rise out of this, but not really the case. But yeah, like I said, if I had waited for that momentum, now these are trading at 215, but it's very difficult to predict, if you're going to break out of that range. But we did. Now these are doing really, really well. Yeah, I got in on those 406 puts at 154. Western Alliance halted again. Jesus Christ. How many times can they halt a stock in a day? Jeez, my puts are up $400 right now. They're trading at $925. Yeah, y'all asked why I went in the money with that option, and this is why. Western Alliance might be sold this weekend too, along with Pac Western. Maybe they both get a sale this weekend. How do I cash out of my put that I bought? Well, if it's on Western Alliance, then you can't cash out right now. But you can place like a limit order in order to close it. Or yeah, you can do a market sell too, if your broker allows for a market sell. But then you have to wait for the stock to come back online. So if it just keeps getting halted like Western Alliance, then you have to wait for it to come back online in order to take profits. Did I not do that this morning? I thought I had pinned this. Yeah. Make sure to join the Discord. Oh, I unpinned that. What the heck? There we go. What happens? Why does it keep getting unpinned? All right. I'm not going to click anything. So what happens if Western Alliance ends up getting sold? You have to wait for the sale and then for Western Alliance to get relisted on the stock exchange. So FRC ended up going bankrupt last week, right? And then they got delisted from the stock exchange. And you have to wait for them to go back to the over-the-counter market in order to get paid out by your put option. So if Western Alliance ends up going bankrupt this weekend, it might be a couple more weeks until you get paid out for your puts. I think with the first one, Silicon Valley Bank, it took like 3 weeks for that to be settled. Too many day trades. You could switch to a cash account strategy that I've been using is just kind of scalping the market, waiting for some consolidation, using RSI as your momentum indicator, and then getting out of the opposite end of that consolidation. So I got in at 154 for these 406 puts. I got out at 173. And then you can hold into momentum if you have the cojones, to where now they're trading at 214. Nobody wants to buy Pac Western. That could be pretty rough. I mean, the FDIC is going to insure it either way, so it doesn't really matter. They're going to get the deposits back. Commercial real estate and residential mortgage. Yeah, that's a Western Alliance just dropped to 16. My God. That is a gap. Wow. My options are going for $1,300, $1,800 now. I kind of want to take profits so I don't have to wait for the waiting period. Jesus Christ, that is insane though. $1,300 a profit. The bid ask on them is crazy, so I can't actually get out. At this point, they're pricing Western Alliance at, let's see, 25 minus 16. Sorry. Yeah, 1,800 for the calls. 1885. At this point, they're pricing Western Alliance at like 615 based on these puts. I don't know if I'm going to get out of these puts. I might have to wait for it to be settled. Yeah, it got halted again. Should people just cash out on the stock market at this point? I mean, I would de-risk some just because we're coming out of range. Given that we're going into a recession, it's hard to say that the markets would go up. So personally, I would be, selling like a 10% stake. You could reverse dollar cost average basically. Sell like a 10% stake every month or whatever time frame you want to use, and reduce your risk that way. Add up the cash, and that'll be some protection for you at least. Help. I have 20 of these contracts right now. I'm up 1,700, but my minimum credit is 100. Doesn't make sense. I mean, your credit should be just whatever you're putting in the contracts for. You're probably going to run into really wide bid-ask spreads, so that might be why. If there's not any buyers and sellers because the market is paused, like for Western Alliance, then getting out of the trade is very difficult. Do I see SPY bouncing back up by the end of the day? Let's see. We're still holding the 403.78 monthly low. I think if we can hold that, then we might get a bounce for the day and maybe come back to 406. But we're going to have to hold that support right below 404. I'm so mad that I can't get out of these puts. They're up by $1,300, but I can't exit. Well, Defendable is probably just running into some issues with the halting on these stocks, probably. Yeah, you could do a limit sell. If your broker allows it, I would do a market order. If you're in a stock that's halted right now, I'd place a market order to get out of them. Because if you place a limit order, there's no guarantee of you getting filled for it. My puts are beautiful right now. Yep. Puts are doing real hot. It is a hot day for the Bears. Gotta love it. CMA, is that one of the banks that's going down right now? Let me see. CMA. Comerica down 16% today, so that might be another one of the banks that might be falling. Yeah, I mean, if people are panicking on the small banks, the regional banks, there could just be a really bad fire sale on them. What is that one? KRE. Let's see what KRE, the regional bank ETF, is down 9% today. That's horrible. It just seems like there's a ton of contagion in the market where everybody's panicking and shorting every bank possible. And that is going to lead to a very eventful weekend. Western Alliance is trading at $13. Oh my God. I think it got halted again too. For the 20th time today. Ugh. I hate this. I'm glad that I got in before it got halted, though. They're down 53% today. Yeah, you only get $100 if you close, and your minimum credit says 100. Imagine how stressful it is. Yeah, because they're getting. Imagine the managers and like the executives. Oh God. Yikes. I would not want to be in their shoes for sure. Glad that I'm on this end of this transaction. Just covered a close on PAC Western. Nice. Down 57% today. Western Alliance not far behind that at 53%. No, I've not got out of Western. VIX is up. UVIX's at 424 now. That's actually a decent high for the VIX. Still got my 500 shares of the VIX. And this is all right before we're running into the deadline on the debt limit too. And I mean, debt limit always gets raised every single year. But seems like they're really trying to push it to the limits with the debt limit. I think the deadline is like June 1st. They've had months to do it. But they really love pushing it right up until the deadline to make everyone panic. So you might have a couple weeks of panic just because of that, on top of all of this bank failures, on top of all these bank failures. So the VIX could be running pretty hot for May. Carvana's not moving at all. It's the funniest thing. Carvana's down 0.4% today, where SPY is down 1%, QQQ is down 0.6%, but Carvana just tuning the market out entirely. What an eventful day today has been. The VIX is up 16%. My cover calls for UVIXY might actually hit. I might actually have to sell my 200 shares of UVIXY. I still have like another 300. But VIX is really popping off today. We haven't seen 21 for a while. Let's see. Not for the past month. The last time we saw 21 for VIX was back on March 27th. Western Alliance is unhalted now. Probably going to re-halt it, but we'll see. I really don't understand why they like reopen it just to close it back down. Let's see. Oh, Western Alliance. You're killing me. Resume trading and then halted again on the circuit breaker. So what restaurant are we going to tonight? McDonald's. No, I'm just kidding. Western Alliance hit 8? Really? When did it hit 8? Oh, that was back whenever the first one went down. So that's not even a new low at 13. That's crazy. Well, it depends on how many you have. So if you have, say, 20 contracts, then you'll get $2,000 total credit for it. McDonald's ain't that cheap. Yeah, McDonald's is fine dining now. You go to McDonald's and you spend like $15 for a single order. Pay $3 for a McChicken. Lobster for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, whenever I get paid out, right? God knows how long that's going to take. Cintas stock? I don't think I've heard of that one. CTAS. Uniform mats, cleaning, restroom supplies. Oh, it's a cleaning company. I think I've actually used their products back when I was working at the theater, maybe. Let's see, Cintas, ticker. It's a very boring stock that you gave me, but I'll check into it. CTAS. It's listed on the NASDAQ. Trading close to yearly highs at 460. Earnings per share has been solid and continuing to go up, whereas a lot of other companies obviously haven't had the same trend. Well, I say it's going up, but it's not a ton. Like they were doing 262 a couple of years ago, and now they're doing 314. So they don't have a lot of earnings growth, but it's kind of one of those companies that is very stable, like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, things like that have been well established. So a lot of money is being poured into those kind of stocks just because it's a safe haven. But I mean, given that we're likely to see a recession and it's trading at 52-week highs, I feel like it's an overcrowded trade. I would think that it would come down. Maybe not a ton. You know, seeing 52-week lows might not be in the cards, but seeing something more reasonable like $440 or something like that, or a drop before, might be reasonable to expect. But that would be like a long-term kind of outlook after the recession has started, and once, you know, there's less need for cleaning in a recession if people aren't going to businesses as much. All right, Western Alliance is back on. Maybe. No, just for a couple seconds, and then it got halted again. It's just going to be infinite halts for Western Alliance today. Yeah. My guess is it's probably going to come in October. Between October of this year and March of next year is what I'm guessing. If only I had a time machine, right? That would be nice, but... Let me check out that Western Alliance put that I got. Really wish I could place a limit or a market order for it. Would be nice. I don't know why Robinhood doesn't have market orders. It's literally the simplest kind of order you can place. But I got the 25 put. So the payout is 5-1 if it goes bankrupt. I got them at 530 and now they're $12.50 a piece. That's if I can get out of them. Yours are $13.75. Yeah, you're gonna get a different quote for different brokers. Like it's telling me that these puts are $14.95 on Robinhood versus $12.50. So Thinkorswim is listing it closer to the bid price, whereas Robinhood is listing it closer to the ask price at $14.95. So you might get quoted for like the mid price if it's $13.75. Looks like SPY ended up coming back up at 404. Found that support at 403.86. I think that's right above the monthly high. Or monthly low, I'm sorry. 403.78. In the low today, 403.86. So just barely above it. So again, if we can hold that monthly low, I think we could end the day at 406. If your minimum credit is 100 for 20 of them, then you're putting in your limit order for 5. So make sure you're putting your limit order in for 1 instead of 0.05. All right, Western Alliance is back. Oh, this is the longest that they've actually lasted. A good 10 seconds. Oh, no, they're still listed. Okay. Now the bid ask is 13 and 15.50. And they're still trading. Western Alliance. All right, I got the 25 strike price and they're trading at 13, so I could still make another 1,200. And they got halted again. Damn. They are ruthless. $62% today. I think I'm just going to hold it and wait for the payout in 3 weeks. Longest they ever lasted, a good 10 seconds. Greg, have you been in my bedroom? Oh, man. Apple is annoying. Never wants to go down and stay down. That might be what's holding the market up. Yeah, Apple's at 165, so it has that support at that 165 level. It did dip down to 164, but held that for today. The problem is that people are seeing Apple, Amazon, Meta, all these big tech stock names going up since the beginning of the year. So this is their safe haven, is to put it into the big tech. But if you do get a recession and a proper bear market, that's not where you would want to keep your money. Because then the money would start to flow into, more cyclical names. You wouldn't, in the bull market go into a bear market and then put your money back into the same place where the bull market started, basically. There would be a new category of stocks that would be doing well, and big tech would not be the winner. Gold is up 1% today. That's not surprising. GLD is at 191. That would have been a good trade too. Especially on a day like today. Yeah, almost back to 406. So I got that support at 404. And now pumping back up, you're at 48 RSI, so this could end up flipping. That's a very quick reversal if it does. How much am I up on the put for the bank? Let's see. The bid price on them is $1,300. I bought them for $530. So 13 minus 530 would be 770 that I've made on them so far. If I close out with the bid price. At the mid price at 14.25, these are up 8.95. But yeah, nice little $1,000 day today. From that 200 put, or that $200 that I got off of that put on SPY, and now this 900 or so from Western Alliance. Carvana, just trading flat. Thinking about just closing out of this trade and calling it scratch. Just so I don't have to deal with the headache that is earnings. How do you sell on Robinhood to cash out? So I'll show you. So if I want to sell out of, say, this Carvana put that I bought, I would enter the amount of contracts that I opened, which was 3. And then I would enter the price that I want to sell them at. If I want them to close right away, then I would put them in for 116, or what is the bid price on the left. So that's how you would end up closing out of there. And I think I'm going to close out of this just because I don't want to give up any profits that I made today. If somehow Carvana has good earnings. I bought these at 120 and I'm closing them at 117. I might be able to get out a little bit better at 119. I can try. No, I just moved the ask price down. Oh, no, I did get filled at 119. Okay, that's good. So, a little $3 loss. Just don't want to hold it into earnings and risk it going the other way and losing the $300 I spent for it. Wish I had taken advantage when these were trading at 150 a couple days ago, but did not do that. SPY's pulling back to 404.70 now. Closing options alert. Just cut losses for the Carvana 8 put expiring this week, 5/5 at 119, which was a $3 loss because I bought them at 120. Yeah, you have to type the bid if you want to get out right away. It's basically a market order just because that's the best buyer. What are my thoughts on Para today? And do I think Apple will beat earnings and revenue? I think Apple will beat their earnings because they have a lot of cash, so they can do buybacks and employee stock compensation in order to artificially inflate their earnings per share or revenue. Not too sure of. So my guess is that Apple will probably be above 167 just based on that. Right now, Apple is trading at like 166, so not really profound if they go up $1. But that would be the trade that I would take. But it is kind of hard to say that given, the market sentiment right now with SPY down 0.8%. That also plays into it. If they have good earnings, it could be very muted because of a bad market. So you could even do maybe like a 163 put credit spread instead of a 167 call debit spread. That way you have a little bit more downside protection versus just assuming that it's going to keep going up to 167 and above. Western Alliance back to 18. Jeez. And re-halted. Ooh, Western Alliance is seeking strategic options just like PAC Western was yesterday. PAC Western caught a little bit of a bid too. Yeah, you have to type in the bid price in order to get filled on the order. You can put it between the bid and the ask price, but the odds of getting filled is lower. What's my take on Schwab? I think they're fine. Just because of the size of them. But you could also say that about, what was it, a couple weeks ago, Credit Suisse was too big to fail. So Schwab could be in trouble just because they are paying out, 4% for their high yield savings account. But I still think that they have plenty of deposits, and most of those are probably under 250,000. So I don't think that Schwab is in as much of trouble as all of these regional banks the larger the average deposit is, and the bigger the losses that they've taken, the more pressure to the downside that these stocks have been seeing. And Schwab, I think, their deposits are smaller. Not sure about their losses, though. I forget where they stand there. But yeah, they're down 3.5% today, so just kind of trading with the regionals. Troist. TFC down 7% today. I would have to look into their earnings report and see what their losses are and their deposits. Nice little cheat sheet, if I can find it, was posted by Michael Burry on Twitter. So let me see if I can go to the Burry archives and find that. There it is. So FRC is the one that just went down. Silicon Valley and SBNY already went down. So if we're looking at this, the ones that are furthest to the right and up are the ones at highest risk. So you have FRC, CMA, Western Alliance is to the left, to where their unrealized losses are a bit smaller than FRC. So that gives them a little bit of cushion. And then let's see, Citibank is actually up there. Pretty high. And then PAC Western is way down here, to where they have a decent amount of unrealized losses, but deposits over 250,000 isn't very heavy. So maybe just further to the right, the more risk that they're at, but that would also put Bank of America at risk. That would be a pretty big one. And then you asked about Troy's TRC. Let's see where they're at here. I see TFC. I don't see TRC on here. So I'm not too sure about that one. That's what I played my CMA on. Yeah. And CMA is down 15% today. TFC is Troy's, really? TFC? Oh, yeah. Troy's Financial Corporation, yeah. So they're to the right here. They're one of the further to the right. So if you're looking at PAC Western, TFC could be a good candidate for that too. And they're only down like 7% today, so you can get those puts for a lot cheaper than what you'll be paying for Western Alliance and PAC Western. But a lot of it, I feel like, is driven by social media and like what is the hottest name and Western Alliance and Pac Western. Those seem to be the two biggest mentioned names probably for today, especially with all the halts that they're running into. That's just going to put them on the radar more and more. They saw those put buys. Yeah, I think it's going to keep dropping. And I have a couple weeks till my expiration, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I think that's all the trades we'll make today. Maybe try to get out of Western Alliance later on. But we'll see about that. No guarantee of it with all the halting that's going on today. But yeah, that's it for today, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow, Friday at 9:30 in the morning. See you, everybody.